All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Tuesdays are for tacos. So hopefully you all have some sort of taco meal planned for dinner. I don't, but there's still time to think about it. So let's get right into it. Make sure you have a clear space to exercise in, nothing to step on or trip over. I've asked that you have your stretchy band and some sort of weight close by, ready to be used. Good idea to have your water bottle next to you, as well as those of you that have an oximeter, that little pulse fingertip reader, is helpful to use throughout class to monitor how hard you're working and how well you recover in between. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're going to start with our breathing pattern. Okay, so if you just want to place a hand on your belly, you can. But that's just a good cue for when we are at rest. We breathe in and fill up our belly. And then we're breathing out through pursed lips. Good. Breathe in, fill up the belly. Out through pursed lips. Breathe in. Out through pursed lips. Breathe in. Out through pursed lips. And breathe in. Out through pursed lips. Good. So that's our breathing pattern at rest. It will change as we start working, and especially the harder we work, that breathing pattern might become shorter. Just please keep in mind that pursed lip exhale is super, super key. Okay. So let's just start. Let's just roll one shoulder back at a time. However you'd like to do. Your hands can be free. You can have them just on your lap. Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll just start with a little bit of backwards rotation with those shoulders. And then you can start adding in a heel raise as you go. See if we can coordinate lifting the heel and rolling the shoulder back one at a time. Good. We'll do just a couple more here. 3, 2, 1. And now that forwards roll. Forwards roll, still lifting up your heel one at a time. Can be along with that forwards roll. I feel like we're going to start dance class today. Hope you brought some music. And let's start adding in the elbows. You can kind of go thumbs to shoulder, add in the elbows. It's a bit bigger of a rotation, a bit bigger of a circle. And let's start lifting up our toes like you're tapping your foot to the beat. So it's just the opposite of lifting up the heel. Good. So tap the foot, circle the elbow, tap the foot, circle the elbow. We're going to keep tapping our feet, but the arms are going to change. So keep tapping your feet. And now we're going to reach across our shoulder as if you're patting yourself on the back. We're still pulling up our foot, keeping the heel on the ground. And you really want to be feeling that at the front of your shin when you pull that foot up. Good. Let's bring everyone's attention back to their breathing pattern. So we're still steadily exhaling through pursed lips and trying to inhale at a consistent, steady rate as well. And open up your arm. And this time, as you open up your arm, we're going to step the foot forward. Open the arm, step the foot. Open arm, step foot. Open arm, step foot. Open arm, step foot. Good. The rest of our body, we're thinking about keeping up tall. You can even think about balancing a water glass on your head. Don't let it drop. So step and open, step and open. Good. Still maintaining our breathing pattern, which is breathing out through pursed lips. All right, team, we're gonna change up our movement in a couple steps here. Good, and we're gonna step sideways in 3, 2, 1. Now our feet are stepping out to the side. So one foot steps out to the side at a time. Good. And then our arms, you've got two options depending on how your shoulders and neck feel. You're either going to reach up with the opposite arm, okay? Or if that is sore on your shoulder or neck, you can just think about lifting up the elbow. So think about trying to touch your thumb behind you, kind of at the back of your shoulder there. So that can feel better for cranky shoulders and necks. Otherwise, you can reach up overhead. Good work, everybody. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. Good. Now we're going to change up the arm movement. Now the arms are pushing forwards. The legs are still stepping out to the side. Good. Remember, if you're just starting out, you're feeling quite new to exercise, or you're having a bit of a rough day, for the breathing is a bit of a struggle, didn't get much sleep, you're feeling a little unwell, you are welcome just to do a couple at a time and then rest, right? That's the best part about this class is it's not a competition, not trying to keep up to anybody. You're just here for yourself. And so that means you got to adjust to what you need. What does your body need today? And whatever you get done, that's awesome. Well done. All right, we're going to change up our foot pattern so you can rest your feet there. So what's going to happen now is we're going to lift up one knee and then step out. So it's knee up, step out, knee up, step out, knee up, step out, knee up, step out. So each leg has a different task. And for now, you can keep your hands on your hips, or you can keep them moving. So one knee lifts and then the other steps out. One knee lifts, the other steps out. Good. So keep breathing out through pursed lips. And we're going to switch what task each leg is doing in 3, 2, 1. Now the other leg lifts, the other steps out. Lift, step, lift, step, lift, step, lift, step, lift, step. There we go. So do what you can here. As I said, let's do our best to maintain our breathing pattern. Great work, team. That's it. Good. You guys are doing great with our coordination challenge here. So I guess that means we are going to have to make it harder. There we go. So now we're going to switch up our foot pattern. Our feet are now going out, out. So they're stepping wider. Then we're going to bring them back together. And then they're going forwards. 1, 2, back 2. So you can think out 2, in 2, forwards 2, back 2. So out, out, in, forwards, and back. out, out, in, forwards and back. Out, out, in, forwards and back. Out, out, in, forwards and back. There we go. You can keep your arms at rest, especially if I need a little bit less intensity. Okay, otherwise you can keep the arms pumping as we go. You are in charge of the intensity. We've been over a couple factors that influence that intensity, how quickly you move, the range of motion, and number of limbs moving. There we go. So remember to keep breathing out through pursed lips. Good. Couple more steps here. 3, 2, 1, and brief rest so we can change our pattern. Now our arm and leg are going to do the same movement. Forward, side. Now the arm and leg that just went to the side, come back in and go forwards. So side, forwards, side, forwards, side, forwards, side, forwards. Each side goes to the side and then goes forwards, and then we switch. So it's side, forwards, switch, 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 side, forward, switch. There we go. Great job, team. Side, forwards, side, forwards. So remember, do what you can, rest as needed. We are looking to get your heart rates up. I do want you breathing harder, but you want to still be able to take a full breath. You want to feel like you can catch your breath, even if it's harder to do. So keep breathing out through pursed lips. 3, 2, 1, and rest. So this might be a great time to review that recovery position. Right, hands or forearms over your thighs or a table. Good, and then we're focused on breathing out through pursed lips. Excellent. Remember, questions about the exercises are more than welcome. And especially if an exercise either doesn't make sense to you or doesn't feel right for your body today, then I really do encourage you to speak up and let me know, and let's work together to make sure you're getting a good workout and a good experience today as well. Okay. So we've got just a little bit of cardio left to do, and then we will shift into some strength work. Okay. And for the next little bit of cardio, we're going to kind of go and then rest, go and then rest. And during that go portion, I really want you panting. I want you breathing harder. You shouldn't feel dizzy. You should not feel shaky. You should not feel like you can only take a partial breath. Those are all signs you need to rest, but I do want you huffing and puffing a bit. Okay, ready? We're going to take our arms and we are going to keep pushing them forwards and back. And now we're just going to march. So lift one knee at a time, push your hands out in front. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. There we go. Good. So work hard here, gang. Do what you can. Do what you can to increase the intensity so that it's challenging but doable. So you want to be breathing harder, but still able to catch your breath. So keep breathing out through pursed lips. You've got about 10 seconds left. Three, two, one. Rest for 30 seconds here. So remember, if you are huffing and puffing, that pursed lip exhale can absolutely sound more like a, okay, because your lungs might be working too hard to take that slow, deep exhale. That's okay. You just still want to make sure that formation of that pursed lip positioning is happening as you exhale, okay? Now our next movement is we're going to kick our leg up and touch across. Whether you touch above the knee or below, doesn't matter. I just don't want to see anybody rounding through the back. We're just trying to stay up tall in this exercise. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So kind of kick, touch, kick, touch. There we go. Kick, touch, kick, touch, kick, touch. There we go. Great job, team. Kick, touch, kick, touch, kick, touch. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. You've got this, team. Almost there. Last couple of seconds. 3, 2, 1. And rest for 30 seconds. So some of you may need to maintain a little bit of movement, whatever that looks like to you. And some of you are going to just need to focus on that recovery position. Okay. Good work, team. Excellent job. Okay, so the next one we're going to do here is we're going to take our feet and our feet are going to step forwards and back. So pretend you've got a line in front of your feet and you're stepping kind of over the line and back, over the line and back. And it's both feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So over the line and back, over the line and back. You can pump your arms. This one will feel easier the more you tighten your core. It's going to allow your arms and legs to move faster. Good work, everybody. Keep up your breathing pattern. That's it. Pump those arms. Pump those arms. Three, two, one, and rest. Whew. Nice work, everybody. We're going to do one more little cardio burst, and then we're going to shift gears into some strength training. Okay. How's everyone feeling so far? Whether you want to say something or give a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a okay. Okay, I see a lot of thumbs up, which is great. Good, good. Brilliant. Okay, so the last one we're going to do here is it's all about lifting up your heels and down. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to do that as quickly as we can. And you can add in that arm movement. So it's almost like we're going to jump up out of our seat. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So think about staying tall. Don't let yourself rock forwards and back. Oops. Whoops. There we go. I like to bring my arms up as my heels lift up. It's just what makes sense to my brain, whatever works for you. But get those feet moving. The intent here is to move quickly. Okay, and it doesn't matter how quickly you actually are moving, but you want to try to move as fast as you can. Heels up and down, up and down, up and down. There we go. Okay, we're past the halfway point. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. And now I would like everybody to try going as fast as they can in 3, 2, 1, as fast as you can. So as fast as you can here, keep your core tight. We're almost there. Go, 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 go. 3, 2, 1. And rest. Did that get your heart rate up? Got mine up. Okay, so sometimes just that intention to work as hard as you can is enough, is more than enough to challenge yourself. Okay, so good work with that purposeful movement. Now we're gonna have a little bit of a rest here before we get into some strength because we want to make sure our muscles are ready to work just as hard as our heart and lungs did. Okay. So I will ask first, we're going to do a sit to stand variation. You can use a weight to make it harder, but please don't use a weight to make it harder if you are not feeling confident with your balance. I'd rather you maintain your balance as you stand up, sit down. And then, of course, there's always the option of staying seated and just pushing your feet into the ground. Okay. And we're going to do that sumo sit to stand. Sumo position is just feet and knees wide apart. So think of a sumo wrestler. Okay. That wide stance. And then from here, you either push your feet into the ground, but you feel those muscles fire up and then relax. Or we go all the way up and all the way down. Up and down. Good work, everybody. So really purposefully press through your feet, whether you're actually standing up or not. Press your feet down into the ground. And you will feel those muscles fire up a lot more. You can have your hands wherever you'd like. I tend to keep them just in the center of my body. If you'd rather keep them across your body, if you want to keep them out in front for a bit of balance, it's more than okay. All right. And we're going to do just 2 more if you can. 2 and 1 more. Good. And rest there. Nice work, everybody. Okay, you can kind of shake out your legs a little bit. And then from here, we're going to grab your stretchy band. If you don't have a stretchy band, that's okay. You can just place your hands on the outsides of your knees. And you're going to do a very similar movement here. Your hands are just going to add a little bit of resistance. So with the stretchy band, we are going to wrap up our legs. So wrap up your legs from kind of under to over the thigh. We're gonna have our feet almost touching. They're fairly close together. And this is to get our glute muscles all fired up and on fire. So you have to purposefully contract them. So a common thing we say in this group is try to crush a walnut between your bum cheeks. Sounds really silly, but the visual does help you activate your glutes. Okay. So you're going to clench your glutes hard and press your knees out against the band. Notice my feet, I don't move my knees so far out that my feet lift up. My feet stay flat on the ground. And then we bring it back in. So tighten the glutes hard to pull apart the knees and back. So tighten up hard to pull the knees apart and back. Okay, and let's go. So squeeze and press the knees apart and back. Squeeze, press the knees apart and back. Good. Well done, gang. It is helpful to breathe out as you squeeze your glutes. I don't want anyone getting caught holding their breath. And this is a better exercise seated, just as a heads up for those of you that do like the standing variations, which is awesome. Just this one tends to get better work while seated. You can always make the band tighter. You can always double wrap it, all sorts of things, okay? So squeeze the glutes hard, crack that walnut, and then bring the knees back together. And then again, squeeze hard, crack the walnut, and back together. Press apart, back together. Press apart, back together. Press apart, back together. Press apart, back together. We got 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Okay, do we feel those glutes all fired up? Seeing a couple head nods. Good. See a couple people looking at the time. Oh man, when is this torture over? Okay, you can shake up the legs a little bit. We're gonna put the band just to the side, and whatever you've got as a weight, we're gonna go ahead and grab that. Good. All right, and then from here, what I would like is we're going to be in this little bit of a split stance, I call it. So if you're seated, you got one foot kind of right underneath your knee and the other foot is pulled back a little bit with the heel up. So we're kind of pushing through foot and toes. And if you're standing, it's the same thing. Feet are apart, this back heel is lifted up, and you're pushing your weight through both feet equally. Okay, so slight bend to the knees. And no matter what position you're taking, the goal is, can you hold that position and pull the weight up into a bicep curl and back down? So it's up, down, up, down, up, down. So again, push through your feet. There we go. Push through your feet. Lift that weight. Lower it down. Good. And 4 more. 4. Really squeeze that weight. 3, 2, 1. Switch hands. Switch feet. And lift. There we go. Nice. So lift that weight, push through your feet, lower it back down. Lift and down. lift, and down. There we go. Nice work, team. Push through those 2 feet. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Shake it out. So those legs should have gotten a little bit tired as well. Okay, that was the goal there. Now you can put the weight to the side. Excellent. And now that stretchy band, once again. So we've got the stretchy band, and we're going to put the stretchy band over our shoulder. Okay, so it's just over one shoulder. It is not wrapped around my neck. Okay, now it's on my right shoulder, so my left hand just reaches across to hold it onto my shoulder. Okay, or just below. Okay, but it's holding onto it. And my right hand grabs the bottom of it. So if it's on my right shoulder, my left hand is there just to hold the band still, but my right hand is going to work by pulling the band straight down. Okay, and please, if you're not sure on the setup, please ask questions. Okay, so we're just straightening one arm and bringing it back up. Straighten one arm, bring it back up. Good. It is helpful to breathe out as you straighten your arm here. Good. So this should feel challenging but doable in your arms. Okay, so a little bit of fatigue, but feels like you can definitely do a couple more. If it feels way too easy, you need more tension on the band, you can double up your band or just start with your hands closer together. If it feels too hard, if it feels like you're straining, feels like you're not getting full extension, then you need less tension on the band. 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. So now the band goes over the other shoulder. Now it's on my left shoulder, so my right hand reaches across to hold the band in place, and my left hand grabs hold, and my left arm is going to pull down to straighten, and then back up. Pull down, back up. Pull down, back up. Great work, everybody. Good. That one arm just pulls straight down. Excellent. Got a couple more here. 3, 2, 1. And rest. Okay. Everyone feel that in their arms, especially the back of the arms. Get a lot of people that say, great work in this area. Underside. Okay. Good work. How are we feeling? Oh, excellent. Seeing some good thumbs up. That's fantastic. So let's do, you know what? We got one more exercise, and then we're going to repeat them all. Just the strength exercises, just the strength part. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. I'd like you all to sit at the edge of your seat. Then we're going to lean back until our upper back just touches the chair. If you need it to fully touch, you are in charge of how much weight you put back on that backrest. But the key part here is we're up tall, we're not slouching in the seat. Okay, so we're just leaning back, keeping tall. And then from here, you're going to lift up one knee, hold, 2, 3, down, up, hold, 2, 3, down. You can have your hands wherever is comfortable. Now, a couple of you might feel this in your lower back. There's two things I want you to try. One is pulling your foot in, both feet, so it's not out in front of you. And if that's still a little bit too much in your back, then just scooch further back in your chair. So the less of an angle you're at, the less you're leaning back in your chair, the easier it'll be, but the less strain on your back until we can build up your back's strength. Okay, so lift and hold, 2, 3, down and switch. Up and hold, 2, 3, down and switch. 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 Hold, 2, 3, down and rest. That's a core exercise, guys. And hip flexor. Okay, if you felt it elsewhere in your body, that's okay too. Sometimes that just gives us information about what is tight on our body or what is supporting more. Maybe there's a weaker part that gets tired more quickly in different movements, so we feel it first. All those things are okay. All right, it's part of the process. Okay, we're gonna have a quick short rest, and then we're gonna get right back into it, starting with our sumo sit to stands. But any questions about the exercise, especially if it did not feel right for you today?
That sit and stand, the sumo sit and stand,
Yeah.
I had some pain on my knees when I was trying to do it.
Yeah.
So could I do it with my legs a little closer?
So
Mm.
that's interesting. Absolutely. You can do these. We sometimes just have to adjust to depending on what our body is like in a day, right? Um, do you feel the pain in your knees when your feet are closer together?
No,
Okay, and are you feeling the pain on the inside of the knees
no, on top.
at the very top?
Yeah, on that top.
Gotcha. So if it's above your kneecap,
Yes.
often that's coming from the quads. So those are those big muscles at the top of your thighs. So absolutely, I would play around with that, because that's what we call that. Um, it's not the kind of knee pain that is uh bad.
Okay.
Okay. It just means putting the knees out is maybe a little bit too much for those muscles to handle for now. They'll get stronger. So try to find where's that balance. If you don't feel it here, but you feel it out here, try to find the in between
Okay.
where it's just about to feel, but it doesn't, and you're able to do it. Okay. And I'm so excited for in, 2 months from now, we try it again and you'll do it no problem. And
Okay.
that'll be such a good moment.
Thanks.
Of course. No, it's a fantastic question. If anyone's feeling pain at the bottom of their kneecap, um, what you can do then, or kind of more like in the joint, what you can do to take off some of that pressure is just lean forward a little bit more so that your bum sticks out and that'll offset some of that below the knee pain. Okay. Uh, we're ready for our sumo sit to stands. Again, place your feet, find that challenging but doable point with or without the weight. And then we're just driving down through our feet to get up and then down with control without plopping. And then if we are staying seated, a few of us, then we're just pressing down through our feet as if we're about to get up. We feel those muscles tighten, but then we relax. Okay, so push through the feet, push, 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 and then relax. Good. So push through the feet, hold, and then relax. And push up and back down and up and down. Good. Let's aim for 5 more. 5, 4. Good. Make sure everything tightens up. 3. And we're still maintaining our breathing pattern. Breathing out through pursed lips is going to help us get out of the chair. And last one. Woo! And down. There we go. Is that better on the knee? Good. Excellent. Okay. We've got our stretchy band or just your hands on the outsides of your knees, putting some resistance. But we're going to wrap them up. All right. And then from here, feet are fairly close together. We are going to squeeze our glutes so hard that we think we could actually crush a walnut between our bum cheeks. Press, squeeze, and then relax. Okay, and you should feel those glutes fire up. Ready, squeeze, press the knees out, and then relax. Squeeze, press the knees out, and relax. Squeeze, press the knees out, and relax. Good. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out. I really don't want anyone holding their breath here. Okay, so think about breathing in, and then squeeze, press out, and exhale. And breathe in to bring it back in, and exhale as you squeeze hard. Breathe in as you bring it in. Exhale, just squeeze hard. There we go, team. Excellent, excellent job. Good. And we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, rest there. Okay, you might need to shake out the legs a little bit. We're gonna grab our weight or whatever you're using for it, whether it's a soup can, water bottle, okay? And we've got our feet in this staggered position. So one foot is slightly under with the heel up. And we're pushing down through both feet. We got the weight, and we're gonna curl it up and back down. So we're curling the weight back down. Curl the weight back down. Good. Where it's helpful to breathe out as you lift. Well done. Or you can squeeze that weight as you pull it up. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to switch hands. We're going to switch which foot is slightly forward. And then we lift. Pull that weight up and back down. Make sure you're pushing down through both feet, whether you're seated or standing. There we go. So breathe out as you lift that weight. Great job, everybody. Squeeze that weight to pull it up. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. My goodness. Put it to the side. Grab your band. We've got our tricep press, which is that underarm. We're going to put our band over our shoulder. One hand reaches across to hold the band there. Other hand grabs hold, and we're going to pull it straight down and then back up. Ready? Pull that arm down and back up with control. So don't allow it to just slingshot up. Come up with some control and down. Up with some control, down. Good. Job, team. Remember, keep up that breathing pattern. Do what you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. So now the band goes over our other shoulder. And then down. Good. Maintain that breathing pattern. Nice work, everybody. Excellent. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, you can put the band to the side. We've got one last exercise we're just going to do 10 of, and that's our sitting up tall, leaning back in the chair, and then we're just pulling one knee up, holding 2, 3, and down. Just pull, hold, 2, 3, down. 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 2 more. Hold, 2, 3, down. Last one. Hold, 2, 3, down. Shake it out, everybody. Woohoo! All right. You made it to stretch time. Yes. Yes. So again, stretch time is while we're stretching, it's also your time. I want to hear from you. I want to chat. Ask any questions you've got. This really is your time. And just pay attention to me saying change or switch. Okay, so we're gonna pull up an elbow, push it back.
When we're doing those knee spreads with the band, it sure does make a difference if you don't squeeze your glutes.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's funny because our glutes have three main jobs. One, they help us kind of push off. So think about your leg going back behind you. Um, your glutes have the job of not letting your hip drop. So think balancing. When we walk, we swing 1 foot forward. Well, our balancing leg needs to stay strong and stable. Switch. And then our glutes are also responsible for rotating our hip outwards. So they should work and they do, but sometimes our muscles need just some help reminding just what exactly they need to do. And we can get them way stronger by consciously firing them up rather than always grabbing a heavier weight. So, yeah, thinking about your glutes tightening is really helpful. I'm glad you felt it. Good. Change. Just going to grab underneath our seat, gently tilt our head away. Just be extra cautious if you've got osteoporosis in your spine. So then you just want to think about, rather than letting it drop, just that gentle side. And switch. What did everyone else think about exercises today?
Some were a little tough.
Yeah, a little bit tough.
Well, I just had hip replacement surgery, so
Did you? There you go.
Well, it's good to be back in the exercises.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we missed you, Barry. Change, get a foot out in front of you. How long has it been, Werner?
Almost 2 months, about 7 weeks.
Oh,
6,
good. Yep,
somewhere.
there you go. Gee, so
It's
that
getting,
band around the knees was perfect for you.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Got to do that more often.
yeah, yeah, that's a great one. Because did they go in from the front or did they do the traditional through your glute?
Front.
The front. Oh, even better. Look at you
Yeah.
go. Nice. So we did a lot of things for you today.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Some
We
of
did the band around the legs, the sit to stand, especially with that wider stance. You'll have wanted to be careful how wide you went.
yeah.
And then the lifting the knees to your chest.
That one was a little tough on the, yeah.
Yeah. And but you're in control of how far up you go.
For me,
You're in charge of how high you bring that leg.
and
So
it's
you
in
can
charge of
always
how,
lift it just a little bit and push down with your hand.
yeah.
Right? Switch legs, reach for your other toes. Awesome.
Hmm.
What did other people think today?
I think it's followed up when you put the wrong program on. And so I missed some of it, Jill.
Oh, that's okay. We
Yeah.
were glad to have you.
I had a flower pot on in front of the house or something to start with.
Oh, that's funny. Well, all that panicking trying to get on probably warmed you up still. So,
I could hear you, but I couldn't see it. And then I would just,
oh,
it was my own fault, you know.
oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, yep. Sometimes there's those technology challenges, and that just happens.
That's
Let's
turning the
come.
light switch on for me.
Oh, there you go. We can put a leg up onto the shin, or you can pull it all the way up onto your thigh. Just rather than pushing the knee down, I'd rather you actually pull the knee in slightly and lean forward. That's gonna feel that way more in the glute. So we're getting back into that slower, deeper breathing pattern. And change legs. Good. Any other questions from today?
The last core exercise that we did, when we go back on an angle and our backs touch the back of the chair, you're not really supposed to be resting or leaning against it. You're just holding, you're just holding that position.
So yeah, so it depends. The more weight you put onto that backrest, the easier it'll be. But some of us need to start there.
Okay.
Right? So if you just, it's much harder if you're just barely touching, but still leaning back. But some of us aren't there yet. So you remember you're in charge of how much weight you put into the backrest to take off some of the challenge for the core. And we'll just build our way up from there.
Okay. I've got a really strong core and I'm just not really feeling anything.
Okay. So what I would maybe encourage you to do is hold a weight, and you can try it here while everyone else gets their leg back into a stretch. So if you're kind of at the edge of your seat, leaning back, just barely touching the rest, and you're holding that weight, and then try lifting your knee up towards your chest.
Like this?
To be honest, I can only see your shoulders and up. So I'm not sure, but if you want to, everyone keep stretching for just a couple more seconds. But this is what I mean here is if you get right at the edge of your seat, it's got all this space here, and then you lean back. You can hold your weight here, and you pull and hold. That can add the challenge.
Okay, but you weren't leaning on it looks like you're leaning, but you weren't.
I am just brushing against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it's touching, that's okay. So you can go ahead and switch legs on that stretch, gang. So other leg is back.
Can you see me?
Just your head.
Yeah, mostly your head, but that does look like you're getting that good lean back, and then you're just pulling a knee up. Yep,
Okay.
pull your knee up as high as you can. Like don't pull it up just to where it's up. Pull it up as high as you can. There you go. Good. So this is good. A good example, guys, of sometimes an exercise won't feel as challenging as others to you. And there's always ways to make it more challenging or less challenging. And sometimes all you got to do is ask. And I'm always so happy to assist you there.
Thank
So
you.
oh, of course. You can practice it. Let me know how it goes for Thursday. So I invite you all to take a deep breath with me. You can have your hands wherever you would like, whether they just stay on your belly out to the side or up overhead. But let's take a deep breath in and then out. Good. And again, deep breath in and try to extend the exhale out. And shake it out. Give yourself a pat on the back. Great job making it on to class today, everybody. So